Hello and welcome to Carp Fishing Tactics. And what we're going to talk about today are Combi-Rigs and more or less the basics of Combi-Rigs. So the first question is, what's a Combi-Rig? Well, if we look at this, we can see. Now this is a basic Combi-Rig, and as you can see, if I leave it there, you can see that it's made up basically of a stiff monofilament section, as you can see there, sort of clear fluorocarbon, and attached to it is tied a supple section, usually of braid. Now the supple section gives the rig manoeuvre ability. It's supple so it can lift up easily and it can enter the carp's mouth as it sucks at the bait or takes the bait. The stiff section is generally for anti-tangle purposes. It means you can cast it out and it will fall down like that, so the rig and the hook and the bait falls away from the lead at this end. Now the stiff section also helps for anti-eject when the fish takes the bait in the mouth. This part, the stiff section, also hinders its exit from the mouth, so it makes it awkward to eject. Yeah, so that's the basics of Combi-Rigs. Now there is certain problems with Combi-Rigs that can cause problems, so I will go through them now. Now here's a Combi-Rig that I actually found whilst fishing not so long ago, and I picked it up and kept it because I thought it would be great to illustrate what I feel are errors on this, the problems with it. Now if I show you there, and let's try and zoom in on it a bit. Now as you can see, there's the stiff boom and there's the swivel. Now what he's done is he's made a stiff boom that is shorter than the supple section. Now this is where I feel is the first mistake on this rig, because the potential now for tangles is greater, and the idea of using Combi-Rigs is as an anti-tangle, as one of its benefits. Now because this is shorter, this means this can fall and it can potentially tangle over there like that, whether it does it on the cast or whether it does it on the fall. Now the other issue about this particular rig is simply because the angler has created it not only shorter, but he's also put some putty here. Don't know whether you can see that, but by putting the putty there as well, what I feel happens is as the rig goes through the water on the cast, these heavier sections, the putty and the swivel, will fall quickly because they've got weight to them. So they'll fall through quite quickly, which means that because he's got a buoyant bait on the end of the hook, which he has because he's got fake corn, that will lag behind as it falls. Now the problem with this is when that hits the bottom, this, in theory, you want it to do that and push away, right? But it won't, because it's supple. It will more than likely do this and land straight on top, either going across the boom or on this heavy putty section here. Now as a fish picks it up, it can tangle it. The hook point can get caught under there. It's just not working right to me. There's too many potential problems with that particular rig. So that's one thing that I think is wrong with Combi-Rigs. They shouldn't be made, I would say as an estimate, make the stiff boom a good 2/3 longer than the supple section. So if you've got 4 inches there, you want that only about 2 inches. The supple section about 2 inches. Yeah. Some rigs I do, and if I get rid of that, I can actually show one here. That this is one that I do. Now this is made from the coated braid material. Yeah, this is the actual Corda hybrid stuff. Now I like to keep the stiff section long as possible and just make the supple section around about 1 inch long. I feel this has many benefits, the first of which is the anti-tangle properties. Obviously that has less chance to tangle than the error rig that I showed you, the rig that I found. And the beauty about it is it can still lift, raise to go into the mouth, the carp's mouth, quite easily. And as the fish sucks up, yeah. So it's still got its anti-jet properties as well, because as that rig is in its mouth, it's awkward to eject, because if he sucks deep enough, that stiff will be in the mouth as well, which makes it awkward to come out, because the stiff section's pushing against the weight. So I feel that that's probably the best way to do a combi rig, is to experiment first, I would say, with a smaller supple section, and only about an inch, inch and a half long. If need be, what you can do, if you're not happy with that, is then you can strip more off. It's easy to strip more off. You strip more back and then just gently pick it off the braid, so you can expose more. But then if you expose more first, then you can't go backwards, but this way you can adapt it. Do a few casts. If you're not having any takes, strip a bit more back. And so I'll show you some more rigs on another video, and we'll still stick to these basic combi rigs and other potential problems you can have and other advantages. So that's combi rigs, or the basics of combi rigs. So look out for the other videos. We're going to discuss other things on carp rigs, anything to do with carp rigs, and so I'll see you next time.